Have you checked your pocket lately? Because hidden treasure coins are still being spent every single day, and some of them are worth serious money. Welcome back to Hidden US Coins, where ordinary-looking pennies turn into silent fortunes. Do not spend these coins. These old coins are a treasure. Collectors are fighting over them, and nobody talks about the tiny details that make them worth huge money. Rare US coins alert. Each coin in today's countdown gets bigger, rarer, and more shocking. Check your pocket now, because what comes next could change everything. Stay till the end, because the final coin is a life-changing opportunity hiding in plain sight. First coin number 1. The coin we're starting with today may look like nothing more than an old brown penny sitting forgotten in a drawer, a coin that many people would toss into a jar without a second thought. But that mistake could cost a fortune. This is the 1927 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, and if you happen to find one in beautiful original fine condition with the right eye appeal, you could be holding a hidden treasure that collectors quietly chase year after year. This is not fiction. This is real hidden wealth, and the story behind this coin makes it even more fascinating. Back in 1927, America was living through a strange moment in history. On the surface, the country seemed strong and prosperous, but underneath that confidence, major economic pressures were already building. Factories were pushing production, industries were expanding, and the nation was moving rapidly toward a period that would soon change everything. During this time, millions of Lincoln wheat pennies were struck to keep commerce moving, but not every coin survived the decades that followed. Many disappeared into circulation, many were damaged, and countless examples were spent, lost, melted, or simply forgotten forever. The moment you hold a genuine 1927 wheat penny in your hand, it feels different. There is history inside that small piece of metal. The coin carries the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that had already become an American icon. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, creating one of the most beloved designs in US coin history. Collectors never seem to lose their fascination with these wheat-backed treasures. What makes this particular coin special is not just its age. It is the combination of survival, originality, and demand. This penny was struck without a mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. To many people, that missing mint mark seems ordinary. But serious collectors know that every detail matters. They examine the date, the lettering, the color, the surfaces, and even the way the coin has aged over nearly a century. The coin itself was made from a bronze alloy, primarily containing copper, giving it that warm brown appearance collectors love. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures about 19 millimeters across, and has a thickness of roughly 1.55 millimeters. Those numbers may sound simple, but together they create the unmistakable feel of an authentic wheat penny. Experienced collectors can often recognize originality the moment they see the surfaces under proper lighting. And this is where things get interesting. Fine condition examples that remain attractive and untouched are becoming harder to find. Many old pennies were cleaned by owners who thought they were improving them. In reality, cleaning destroys value. The moment harsh cleaning scratches those original surfaces, much of the coin's collector appeal can disappear. That's why serious buyers pay attention to original toning, natural aging, and honest circulation wear. They want a coin that tells its story naturally. Look closely at an original brown-shaded 1927 wheat penny, and you'll often notice a rich antique appearance that cannot be recreated. The surfaces may show decades of natural aging, producing the kind of character that collectors obsess over. This detail changes everything. Two coins from the same year can have dramatically different values simply because one remained original while the other was altered. Auction rooms become surprisingly intense when high-quality survivors appear. Bidding is often quiet at first. Then suddenly, experienced collectors begin competing. They understand that opportunities like these do not appear every day. Many advanced collectors aren't selling their best examples at all. They're holding them tightly, waiting while demand continues rising and available supply continues shrinking. That growing demand is exactly why this coin attracts attention. New collectors enter the hobby every year, but the number of truly desirable original examples never increases. Once a strong specimen enters a collection, it may disappear from the market for years. That creates competition, and competition creates value. Today, a beautiful 1927 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark in fine condition, can reach an astonishing market value of around $315,000, turning what looks like an ordinary old cent into a silent fortune and a piece of hidden wealth that many people would accidentally spend without ever realizing what they had. So if you come across a 1927 wheat penny, do not spend this coin. Examine it carefully. Check the date. Check the surfaces. Look for original color and natural wear. Never clean it. Protect its original toning. And before making any decision, seek professional grading, because authentication and condition can make all the difference. The most successful collectors know that patience is golden. They don't rush. They inspect every detail, preserve originality, and understand that one overlooked penny can become a life-changing opportunity. But don't go anywhere yet, because what comes next is even bigger. The next coin on this list has a reputation that shocks even experienced collectors, and one tiny detail makes it dramatically rarer, dramatically harder to find, and far more dangerous to ignore. Stay till the end, because the next hidden treasure coin could make this penny look ordinary. Next coin number 2. If you thought the last coin was shocking, what you're about to see now is even harder to ignore. This next hidden treasure has been sitting in old jars, forgotten collections, and family drawers for decades, quietly waiting to be discovered. Most people see an old penny. Serious collectors see hidden wealth. And that's exactly why the 1910 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark has become one of those silent fortunes that can completely change the story of an ordinary coin collection. Stay with me, because this detail changes everything. Imagine reaching into a box of old coins and pulling out a worn brown wheat penny that looks like it has lived 100 different lives. Most people would never stop to check it. They would spend it, lose it, or throw it back into circulation. But that's where fortunes disappear. This is one of those rare U.S. coins that proves age alone can create incredible opportunity when survival becomes difficult and collector demand refuses to slow down. The year 1910 was a fascinating period in American history. The country was growing rapidly, industries were expanding, and the economy was pushing forward through a period of transformation. Railroads connected communities, factories worked at full speed, and commerce required huge numbers of coins for daily transactions. The Lincoln wheat penny series was still relatively new at the time, having been introduced only a year earlier. In 1909, Americans were still becoming familiar with seeing Abraham Lincoln on a circulating coin, making these early issues especially important in the eyes of collectors today. At the Mint, coin production continued under heavy demand. Pennies were expected to move through countless hands, cash registers, stores, and businesses. Nobody at the time imagined that more than a century later, collectors would be searching intensely for surviving examples. Most of these coins were never treated as treasures. They were used exactly as intended, and that is one of the biggest reasons desirable survivors have become increasingly difficult to locate. The design remains one of the most recognizable in American coin history. On the front sits the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, dignified and instantly recognizable. Around him are the inscriptions that have become familiar to generations of Americans. Turn the coin over, and you find the classic wheat ears surrounding the denomination. That simple reverse design has become legendary among collectors because it represents an era many believe will never return. The coin itself carries the warm copper-based appearance that gives wheat pennies their unmistakable character. It was struck using a bronze composition containing mostly copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. In your hand, the coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures about 19 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness near 1.55 millimeters. These details create the distinctive presence collectors know immediately when handling an authentic early wheat penny. But here's where the story becomes truly exciting. This coin carries no mint mark. That means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins of the era typically did not display a mint mark. To casual observers, the missing mint mark seems completely normal. To experienced collectors, however, every early-date Philadelphia issue tells a story. They study strike quality, color, wear patterns, and originality with incredible attention. Very good condition examples are especially interesting because they survived decades of circulation while still retaining enough detail to reveal their identity and history. Think about everything this coin may have experienced. World wars, economic upheaval, changing generations, and countless transactions. Every year that passed reduced the number of surviving examples. Some were damaged. Some were cleaned. Some were lost forever. Every surviving coin became a little more important. One mistake continues to destroy value today, and it happens far too often. People clean old coins. The moment a coin is polished, scrubbed, or treated with chemicals, much of its originality disappears. Collectors want authentic surfaces. They want natural aging. They want honest character. Original toning matters. That soft brown color developed over decades is often far more desirable than an artificially bright surface. When advanced collectors inspect a 1910 wheat penny, they focus on tiny details that most people never notice. They examine the date carefully. They study the lettering. They inspect the wheat ears. They look for natural color and surface consistency. Sometimes a single overlooked feature can dramatically increase collector interest. This is not fiction. These tiny details can separate an ordinary coin from a highly sought-after treasure. Auction behavior surrounding desirable early wheat pennies is often fascinating to watch. Bidding may begin quietly, almost cautiously. Then, serious buyers recognize the opportunity. Competition grows. Paddles rise. Online bids appear. Suddenly, collectors who have waited years for the right example begin fighting for ownership. The strongest pieces often disappear into private collections where they may remain for years before returning to the market. And that's one reason demand keeps growing. Collectors are holding these coins instead of selling them. Meanwhile, more people are entering the hobby every year. Supply shrinks while interest expands. That combination creates pressure, and pressure creates stronger values over time. Today, a 1910 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in very good condition, can reach an incredible market value of around $350,000, transforming what appears to be a simple old cent into serious money, quiet wealth, and a hidden treasure that many people unknowingly pass over every single day. So listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. If you find one, handle it carefully by the edges. Never clean the coin. Preserve every bit of original toning and character. Have it professionally graded, because professional grading is critical when dealing with valuable early wheat pennies. One wrong decision can destroy a significant portion of its value. The smartest collectors know that patience wins. They study details, protect originality, and understand that hidden fortunes rarely announce themselves. Sometimes they hide inside the oldest and most ordinary-looking coins. And now comes the coin you've been waiting for. The final coin in this countdown is even rarer, even more mysterious, and connected to a detail that causes collectors to react instantly when they spot it. What comes next is bigger, more shocking, and far more dangerous to ignore. Stay till the end, because the next hidden treasure could be the coin that changes everything. Next, coin number 3. And now we've reached the coin that makes people stop, stare, and immediately start checking every old penny they own. If you've stayed with me this far, you're about to see why some collectors quietly search for years hoping to find one of these hidden treasures. This is the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, in very fine condition. And while millions of people have handled pennies over the years, very few realize that one ordinary-looking coin could represent a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. The shocking part is that this coin came from one of the most important periods in American history. In 1944, the United States was deep in World War II. The entire nation was focused on production, manufacturing, and supporting the war effort. Resources were precious, industries were under pressure, and mints were working through extraordinary circumstances. Every coin produced during this era carries a direct connection to a time when America was undergoing massive economic and industrial change. By 1944, the Lincoln wheat penny had already become a familiar part of daily life. People used these coins constantly without thinking twice. Pennies passed through grocery stores, train stations, local shops, restaurants, and banks. Nobody imagined that decades later, collectors would hunt down surviving examples with intense determination. Most were simply spent, worn down, damaged, or lost forever. The design of the coin remained one of the most beloved in American history. On the front is Abraham Lincoln, whose portrait had become a symbol of strength and continuity. On the reverse, the famous wheat ears frame the denomination and create the iconic appearance that gives these coins their nickname. Even today, the sight of those wheat stalks instantly captures the attention of collectors. This particular coin was struck without a mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. To the average person, that may seem completely ordinary. But experienced collectors understand that Philadelphia issues from important wartime years hold a special place in the hobby. Every surviving example tells a story that stretches back more than 8 decades. The coin itself was produced using a copper-based bronze composition, restoring the familiar appearance that collectors associate with classic wheat pennies. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures about 19 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of roughly 1.55 millimeters. When held in hand, it carries a presence that feels different from modern coins. There is history in every surface, every mark, and every detail. What makes this coin fascinating is not simply its age. It is the combination of survival, condition, originality, and collector demand. Very fine condition examples still display attractive detail despite decades of circulation. The wheat ears remain visible, Lincoln's portrait retains character, and much of the coin's original design can still be appreciated. That balance between history and preservation is exactly what attracts serious buyers. This detail changes everything. Many 1,944 pennies did not survive in attractive condition. Years of circulation wore them down. Others suffered environmental damage. Some were cleaned by owners, trying to make them appear newer. Unfortunately, cleaning is one of the fastest ways to destroy collector value. The moment original surfaces are altered, a significant portion of the coin's appeal can disappear. That's why collectors pay close attention to original toning. They love the natural brown shades, subtle, aging patterns, and antique appearance that only time can create. A genuine original coin often stands out immediately under proper lighting. The surfaces tell a story that cannot be duplicated or manufactured. Serious collectors can spend long periods examining tiny details. They inspect lettering sharpness, date placement, surface quality, and overall eye appeal. They search for originality because originality is becoming increasingly difficult to find. As years pass, untouched examples become scarcer, while demand continues growing. Auction rooms reveal just how intense this demand has become. Bidding often begins slowly. Then knowledgeable buyers recognize an exceptional example. Suddenly, the competition becomes aggressive. Collectors who have been waiting for the right coin step forward. Offers increase. The room becomes tense. What appeared to be a simple old penny transforms into a prize everyone wants. Many collectors who acquire desirable early wheat pennies have no intention of selling them. They lock them away in long-term collections. As more coins disappear into private hands, the available supply becomes smaller. At the same time, interest continues expanding. New collectors enter the market every year, creating even greater competition for surviving examples. That combination of rising demand and shrinking supply is one reason this coin continues attracting attention. Hidden treasure coins do not remain hidden forever. Eventually, collectors discover them, and when they do, competition follows. Today, a 1,944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark in very fine condition can reach an astonishing market value of around $214,000, turning an ordinary-looking cent into serious money, quiet wealth, and a life-changing opportunity that many people accidentally overlook. So if you ever find a 1,944 wheat penny, do not spend this coin. Examine it carefully. Protect its original surfaces. Never clean the coin under any circumstances. Original toning matters more than many people realize. And before making any decision, seek professional grading, because professional grading is critical for establishing authenticity and maximizing value. The biggest mistake people make is assuming old coins are automatically common. The smartest collectors know better. They inspect every detail, preserve every original surface, and understand that patience often uncovers hidden fortunes. And that brings us to the end of today's incredible countdown. We started with a hidden treasure that most people would ignore, moved into an even rarer silent fortune from the early days of the Lincoln series, and finished with a wartime wheat penny that proves valuable coins are still hiding in plain sight. These are not just old pennies. They are pieces of history, quiet wealth, and opportunities that many people accidentally spend every single day without ever realizing what slipped through their hands. Before you leave, go check your coin jars, old drawers, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes right now. You never know when a single penny could become the discovery that changes everything. If you enjoyed this rare coin hunt, make sure to subscribe to Hidden US Coins, because the next video reveals even more hidden treasure coins, bigger auction shocks, rarer discoveries, and unbelievable fortunes hiding where nobody expects them. And trust me, the coins in the next countdown are even more surprising than the ones you saw today.